Welcome back to the Sort of Truth podcast, the chapter-by-chapter reread of the Sort of Truth series with a hot and heavy dose of craft beer on the side. I'm Nate.
And I'm Jade, and on this episode we are getting up close and uncomfortable with Chapter 18 of Temple of the Winds.
Good.
Yeah. That makes you happy?
Yes, I'm very happy. We ran into another technical difficulty coming down to record. We just listened to like 10 seconds of playback, and there was this weird popping and clicking, and I didn't know what was going on, but we got it figured out. And we've determined that there is a prophecy about our show. The patrons know what I'm talking about. That says it's going to happen from time to time.
Yeah, it's written on the wall somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah,
where.
Something about greatest podcast of all time, uniting mankind. Everybody gets peace and prosperity. That kind of thing. But we're just going to have some technical difficulties along the way.
Yeah, here and there.
But it'll be whatever.
Which proves it.
So that means stick around, guys. Stick around.
Yeah.
All right, are we ready to get into this?
Yeah.
I don't have my beer yet. I was at a bachelor party last night, and so right now I'm still drinking things to hydrate my body. By the way, congratulations, Isaac and Katie.
Yeah. I mean, we'll have more congrats for them as the time goes, because we're still a little ways away, but yeah, he had a good time, is what I hear. He had a tutu and a lot of alcohol.
Yep,
so.
Lot of drinking. No strippers, lot of drinking. Went to the beach.
Great.
We went to the driving range and hit some golf balls, which I learned is fucking hard. Not good at it, but it was still fun.
Well, yeah, if you added booze, a lot of things can be fun.
You can just drink while you do that.
Yeah.
We just brought coolers, and they were just in the back of the truck. And then you're like, yeah, just drink whatever, and you can just hit golf balls and drink.
Why do you think people like to play golf?
The only range I go to, drinking is like the number one rule, no drinking, because it's a shooting range. You're not allowed to have booze there.
Yeah,
so then
that's different.
Playing golf and drinking, and I'm like, I get why people do this.
Yeah. You just hang out, you drive your little cart from hole to hole, and drink.
I might just start golfing.
Yeah.
Not a thing I thought I would say.
I've only seen my dad actually drink a few times, and one of those times was after he got home from golfing.
Was after golfing? Yeah, no, I get it now. All right, well, let's get into this chapter. Chapter 18 of Temple of the Winds.
Yeah.
Yes. At the end of the last chapter, Richard had just officially welcomed Drefan to the new Dahara, which made me realize, I guess, for the first time that Aidendrill is, it's a city, but like the Midlands are all Dahara now, officially.
Yeah, he took over that shit.
He took it over. I mean, I'm sure they still call the Midlands to just designate that area of Dahara.
Yeah.
But it's all Dahara.
Yeah. And, I mean, I know we don't really talk about, a lot of people seem to be cool and like, yeah, Richard's doing good things, but I bet you there's quite a few people who are like, the fuck is going on? Now we are part of Dahara?
Yeah. He's a madman. He's taken over.
Yeah. I'm a Midlander till I die.
It also seems that Drefan has passed the Richard test, and because his pants are so tight, apparently he passed the dick test too.
Is that the same thing though?
I know, I thought it was funny.
Yeah, it's clever.
Did he pass the dick test? Yeah, a couple times. Richard thanks Drefan for saving Kara's life. He acknowledges that it must have been hard for him to save one of the guards that might have been ordered to kill him right after that whole ordeal. Drefan just says, hey, that's what I do. I'm a healer. I help people. He also adds that he's going to have to get used to calling him Richard instead of Lord Rahl, right? It's been Lord Rahl in his brain for all of these years. And Richard gets it. He's like, hey, I'm still used to getting used. I'm still used to getting used to
talking.
People calling me Lord Rahl, so we're even.
I don't think that Drefan really came in with an air of somebody who was worried he was going to get killed. Like, I mean, maybe it was the finality of it. Like, he was like, oh, it's going to happen either way, so I don't care. But he definitely came down into that pit and seemingly kind of in this room, like, confident that he wasn't.
Very confident, very cocky.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I feel like Richard's like, it had to have been hard for you, and I don't think it was.
No.
I don't think it was. I think Drefan was like, I'm gonna save this bitch, Richard's gonna be cool. It's gonna be fine. Or I'm gonna murder his ass.
See, that's where I was like, okay, you're part of that Rahl line. Now Richard's the king, so if you kill him, then you become the king, right? Game of Thrones rules. Richard dies, You're the man.
Yeah, I mean, factual. That's what happened. That's how Richard got the role.
That's true.
But
and that's why he's also been like, I don't know if I trust that motherfucker.
So, as far as we know, he doesn't have magic. So, he might not be able to...
Right.
But he has, like, something akin to magic. So, maybe he could manipulate his way.
He's got something.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that in a little bit. Richard asks if they have any other siblings. And Drefan tells him that he's heard they might potentially have a sister somewhere named Lindy, saying that she was born in Dahara, somewhere southwest of the People's Palace. Now, if the rumor is true, and if she's still alive, she'd be about 14 years old right now. But that's all he knows.
I would hazard to guess that if you are hearing rumors about her, she's probably fucking dead, because you both are supposed to be in hiding. I'm like, I don't even know why anybody would have passed you the information.
How that information would have come to him.
Yeah, that you're supposed to not be known as Lord Rahl's fucking illegitimate child. But also, her identity should be being hidden. So who the fuck is passing around information?
Who's talking about that?
About this little girl. And if you heard it, I'm sure Dark and Rahl's people probably did, and that bitch probably died. Well, sorry, she's not a bitch. She's a 14-year-old girl, but,
It might kind of be like how it is on the TV show, where you can tell that there's two groups of people. Some people are pro-seeker and some people are not. So once you hear somebody mention something that's akin to your moral value, you'd be like, oh, and are you also like, on our side? And then so he might hear things around town and then just inquire to it.
No, you're probably right. I'm just saying whoever opened their mouth in the first place about this little girl is kind of an asshole.
Is an asshole? Yeah.
Yeah.
The first rule about putting people in hiding is you don't talk about people in hiding.
Yeah. Yeah, like Whitpro, you're not supposed to be like, hey, I heard that the child of the said murderer is living down the street.
That's what happened in Red Dragon.
Yeah.
Sorry. That might be a spoiler.
It's not a good
idea. That information should never get out.
Exactly.
So Drefan turns to Kahlan and asks how she's feeling. Asks if the herb woman, I don't know, what was her name? Stitched her up properly. Kahlan says Nadine did fine. Just fine. Mm-hmm. She didn't sleep well with her shoulder hurting, but, she's doing okay. Drefan does this magic that is not magic, healing to her. He presses on her neck, and pain shoots down her spine. He does this usual poking and prodding thing that he does, but this time without a creepy sexual element, and he manages to lessen the pain. He tells her to go easy on it because it still needs to heal, but it should feel better.
Okay, all right. Maybe we aren't always creepy, right?
Yeah.
Okay. She does, linger on the size of his hands, I think. Probably a little too long while they're going through that.
He's got really big hands. It does mention that. It reminds her of Richard's hands.
There's a lot of hand talk in this chapter.
Yeah, a lot of hands, a lot of eyes. But ultimately, he does this thing, not creepy. He doesn't do anything weird. And Richard's right there.
Yeah.
So it's fine. Maybe sometimes it doesn't, what it did for me is it led me to believe that, hey, maybe sometimes some of that weird stuff is necessary, but not all the time. For this, it wasn't required, so he obviously didn't do it. There's nothing wrong there, and it might lead you to believe that he's like, oh, okay, he's on the up and up.
Maybe
it was
more
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he did apologize for it being weird, but, it was necessary, so it's fine. But then he asks Kahlan about her headaches. When she confirms that she does have one, he offers to help. He grabs her arm and sits her in a chair away from Richard and gets really really close to her. Like uncomfortably close to her. Is this too much?
Yeah.
Is the point getting through? He has her hold out her arms, and he squeezes them, like, really fucking hard. By the way, there's the creepy thing that he's doing.
Yeah.
But she figures that he knows what he's doing, so she doesn't say anything.
I feel like that's not a good way. Like, even in a doctor's office, most of the time they tell you, hey, if this hurts, tell me. So at least I can know where we're at. Like, maybe, because you can't always tell if you're pushing too, like, when you're getting massaged or whatever.
Too much.
Yeah, you don't know somebody's threshold or what the amount of pressure is that's going to damage somebody. So you need to speak up.
Yeah, I was also going to say most doctors will also add, if you're uncomfortable in any way, please tell me.
Yeah.
Like, we will rectify the situation.
Yeah.
Obviously, Drefan is not that kind of doctor.
No.
So, because she figures he knows what he's doing, she doesn't say anything, which is not good. And while all of this is happening, she has to keep her eyes up, because if she doesn't, she'll be staring right at his dick.
At his Richard.
Right at his Richard. Little Richard. People
Big
say
Richard,
it and go,
apparently.
Yeah. Good golly. Is that thing named? Never mind. Anyways, she starts thinking about the way Drefan had put his hands on Kara and starts feeling uncomfortable. She abruptly pulls her hands away and's like, hey, thanks. I feel much better. We're good.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird mixture with the uncomfortable, because part of it makes you feel like she's like getting hot and heavy, like she doesn't want to feel that way, but also it keeps bringing up the way he was touching Kara, and that made her uncomfortable in a different way.
Yeah, well, I think the hands reminding her of Richard's hands, there's something like, I don't know, it's Richard's brother. It's something you could say she was, I don't want to say used to because it's a different guy, but like they are like Richard's hands. It's a comforting presence. It's Richard's brother. She's in good hands. She's going to be fine. And then immediately the hands make her uncomfortable. I don't think she liked the hands per se. I think she's realizing that his hands are making her feel not good.
No, I know
think
that.
That's why the hands were pointed out, because they're like, hands can be a powerful thing. You know what I mean?
I think it's the hand talk, but also the dick talk, because it's not. When she's
well,
talking
it's
about,
right there.
Yeah, when she's talking about his dick. She's not exactly like it's terrible. You know, she doesn't seem offended. She's uncomfortable that it's that close to her.
She doesn't want to look at it,
but it doesn't know. It doesn't seem like it's
really
all because
say that she's disgusted with it.
Yes,
either,
like,
but it's there.
Yes, I guess. Yeah, exactly.
Well, with a penetrating, blue-eyed, hawk-like Rahl gaze, he says, "Huh, I've never healed a headache so fast. Are you sure that you feel better?" And Kahlan's like, "Yeah, I'm good. It was just a little headache, so I'm doing fine. Don't need you to do the weird touchy thing anymore." Dirty Drefan is born. Well, Drefan stares at her with a little smile, and for a long moment, actually. It goes uncomfortably long.
Like he knows that she's lying.
Yeah, he knows, but they're all smiling at each other. So Richard, who can't really see because he's been blocked out of view by Drefan, is just thinking they're exchanging pleasantries. But we know that there's some shit going on.
Yeah, he's unaware of the uncomfortable encounter.
This guy's bad fucking news.
Yeah.
This whole thing makes me really uncomfortable.
Yeah. Me too. I agree. I don't...
it makes you feel dirty, you know? Like he's doing something bad.
And all he did was, like, touch her arms.
Yeah. She got that vibe off him.
Yeah.
He's dirty Drefan. You're going to catch something from that boy. Then he turns to Richard and says, "I hear you're going to marry her. You're very different from our father." He offers his congrats and asks when the wedding will be. And Kahlan cuts in and is like, "Soon." She rushes up on Richard, holds him by the side, like, "We're together, we're getting married." Because Drefan just made her uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So she's like, "I'm with this guy.
Yeah.
He's equally big and a fucking king, so he can kick your ass." Just so you know. And Richard's like, yeah, we don't have a date. We still have some things to work out. I think it's kind of funny. Just a little bit.
Yeah, the way that he just pushes it off and he's not being exact about it.
Well, right. I mean, it's like a normal ass wedding. Like everybody, when you're getting married, there's stuff to, we got the I wills out of the way. A ring has probably been exchanged at this point, but we still have to figure out exactly when we're going to do it. It's just like any common wedding.
Yeah.
I thought that was great because they're like royalty. You'd think they'd have all this stuff planned for no, they gotta, it's the same. They're like, oh, we're going to do it. We'll get to it though.
Well, they have to go elope and jump in a fucking tube and go somewhere, apparently.
We got some magic shit to work out before we can actually do the deed, but we are getting there. So Richard tells Drefan he could use his help. He's got a lot of wounded men right now, wounded by the same man who hurt Kara, and he'd really appreciate it if he could help him out. Drefan grabs his shit and heads for the door, but Richard stops him, telling him that if he doesn't exit the room first, the guards outside the room will kill him. And we wouldn't want that, now would we? I was like, wait, was that a fucking threat?
Yeah, it was kind of sarcastic. It felt like. I'm also like, again, what? We don't have any healers in this goddamn palace. What the hell is happening? In Dahara, when all that shit went down with the little, like, I don't know. Every time there's been shit that goes down, there's healers around. Like, Zed had to talk to the healers and everybody who was there after the end of fucking whatever book we were talking about. But there's no healers here. So it's just Nadine and Drefan, apparently, to help.
We've talked about this. They have people at the palace there who are, like, medical staff.
Apparently not, because I need Drefan and Nadine.
Well, yeah, I think they're a big help. I don't think they're the only people here, but I think that... I don't know why Nadine's getting so much credit, but a guy like Drefan could be able to help a lot of people.
Maybe.
Supposedly.
I know, we talked about that. We thought there was somebody else. But then again, Nadine kept popping up, and she's the only one that's helped Kahlan, apparently.
She's the only one that seems to be around. Yeah, that's true.
I'm just disgusted in Aiden Drill's safety for the people. That's all. That's all I have to say about that.
I'm taking a drink, and I'm like, keep talking, keep talking. She's like, that's all I have to say about that.
Because I didn't know where to go.
I gotta get this down. I gotta talk again. Damn it. Okay. Oh, right. Now I gotta find my place. Man. Okay, here we are. As they leave, Kahlan makes eye contact with Kara. She knows Kara could hear everything that was going on while Drefan was doing what Drefan does. But she couldn't do anything about it, which means she would have heard Kahlan warn him not to touch her like that again. She knew what Drefan was doing, but couldn't do anything to stop it. Her face flushes, and she holds on to Richard as they go through the door.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so she knows that Kahlan tried to stop it, but they both know what happened. It wasn't like Kara was unconscious and unaware that it happened, which would still make it not great that it happened in the first place, but she would not have memory of it.
But now there's... Well, no, she would have memory of it, right?
Well, she would. If she wasn't aware, she wouldn't have had memory of the bad thing happening.
But since she can hear, she's aware of what happened. And now she just saw, I'm assuming, what happened to Kahlan. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm like, these two now have another thing in common.
Yeah.
They've both been uncomfortably touched.
Yeah.
Bad touched by Drefan.
Yeah, they're both aware that he's not as on the up and up that he appears to be. Like, yes, he's a healer, but those hands do more than healing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. BT, Drefan Rahl. Bad touch, Drefan Rahl. Drefan, bad touch, Rahl? I don't know. We'll get it. Dirty Drefan, bad touch, Rahl. That's his name. Don't fucking like him.
You know Janelle Evans from Teen Mom?
Yes, I'm aware of who she is.
Well, her husband made a comment on some after show at some point, and he earned himself the title in the universe of the subreddits as Uncle Bad Touch.
Oh my God, what?
Yeah.
that's bad if that's your fucking nickname.
Yeah. Well, they call him other things too, but I mean, these aren't people who like him.
I think that's the one he's got to worry about.
No, he's not worried about any of it. This guy isn't the greatest. I've talked to you about her husband a couple times. He's not the best guy.
Yeah, I think I've heard a few things about him.
Yeah, that's
holy fuck.
They're not even on the trash TV anymore, but they are still entertaining.
But if Richard and Kahlan had kids, then Drefan could potentially be Uncle Bad Touch.
Yeah,
that's not a good thing.
That's the only reason I brought it up.
Holy fuck. Okay, well, I need a beer now, so it's time for the beer break.
Okay, sounds good.
Holy shit. All right, well, today we have Willow Wheat from Perrin Brewing Company. It is willow wheat utilizing a classic blend of American hops along with New World varietals. And this wheat ale delivers a unique bouquet of aromas and flavors. Trying to find the percentage. Where are we at? 5.6 by volume. So not super heavy. One of the unique flavors I get is maybe a little tangerine.
Yeah, but I think it's mainly probably from the hops. You can get that little citrus from the hops.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's mainly just like an easy drinker. Nothing like super standouty, but not like, ew.
But still pleasant.
Yeah.
Like not a bad flavor.
Yeah.
Not bland at all. I would say that. It's not bland, but it's not like knock you over with flavor either.
Yeah.
It's right in the pocket of a wheat ale. When you read wheat ale, you're like, okay, yeah.
Yeah, if you're going to pick a wheat ale, then okay. But it's not like I would be sitting here, right, and be like, I want a beer. Hey, Nate, can you go to the store and grab me some of that willow wheat?
Can you go get some willow wheat? Right. Not going to drive for it. Not upset that you got it.
Yeah. If I send you, I'm going to send you for something else.
So a rating of, let's say, from 0 to 5 hops. How many hops are you giving it?
I'd probably give it a solid 3.
Or beer mugs or whatever the item of measurement should be. You think 3 out of 5?
Yeah.
Okay. And you know what? I agree.
Kegs.
I think I'm going 3 out of 5. 3 kegs out of 5 kegs?
Yeah.
I love it.
Like
growlers?
Yeah, like the old school kegs from pirate time. Like, like a
cask?
A cask. Yeah.
3 casks of ale.
Yes.
Love it. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's right there. It's in the pocket. It's not the best, but it's definitely not bad. Perrin has a lot of really, really good beers. And so I know we've suggested that people find Perrin beer and pick it up. If you want this one, I say go try it. It is good. But if you miss it, you'll be okay.
Yeah,
that's my honest take.
Not like the cherry IPA, which I definitely suggest.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel weird, like somehow unsatisfied. I'm like, it's whatever.
It's okay.
I like being able to say, you know what? Pick this up. You have to try this, and don't try this because that's awful. This one's just kind of like,
it's here. To be fair, we didn't buy like a full 6-pack. This came in a multi-pack.
Multi-pack,
so
yeah.
that's probably why Perrin really knew.
Push the wheat ale. We're not selling enough, so. Yeah, that's fair.
It was in a float pack. Although, okay, I know we were probably about done with this beer break, but I did like the way they marketed it. It was a pack that was made for floating down the river.
Oh, yeah. River beer pack.
Yeah, we've talked about river beers plenty on this podcast.
You could say is a pro for this beer because it would fit very well while going down the river.
Yeah.
Light, a little bit fruity, crisp. It is good.
Easy drinker, not heavy in your stomach at all. Accurate. To put it in a float multi-pack.
That was the right
beautiful.
move.
Love that.
See, they know what they got and where to push it.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to let that one just sit there.
That was very much so on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to let you all stew in that.
They're going to push it.
Are you uncomfortable now?
Mm.
Okay. We'll be back right after this. And we are back. So, When Richard and Kahlan get back to Kahlan's rooms, Richard takes a little look up and down the hall to make sure they're empty. They are. So he goes back in and things get hot and heavy fast. We're talking loose hands. We're talking a little lip biting. Yeah. Richard's like, I'm surprised Nancy's not here already. And Kahlan tells him that Nancy won't be bothering them anymore.
I told that bitch to lay off.
I told Nancy to stay out of my bedroom.
Yeah.
And damn it, she will.
Yeah.
And Richard, I love this so much. Richard's like, oh my, but Mother Confessor, who will protect your virtue? And Kahlan says, dear spirits, no one, I pray. And then Richard changes the topic. Fucking what? Come on.
Yeah, he apparently doesn't want it that bad.
He's like, oh man.
You skipped over the
Nope.
You skipped over the joke you made though while we were listening to the podcast about her virtue.
Her virtue. Oh yeah, it is a joke. I mean, it's not really a joke, but it's the point of Kahlan's character. She's the virtuous one. She has to maintain that. Like we said, Kahlan cannot be raped. She can come very, very close, but because of what she represents in the story, it can't happen.
Yeah. What you said specifically was, who will protect your virtue? The plot.
The plot will, right.
Yeah.
Because of who you are, the plot will protect your virtue. Trust me, it'll be fine. Damn it. In the meantime, what do you think of Drefan? Kahlan, not prepared for this conversation right now, says, I don't know, Richard. What do you think? I was a little predisposed over there, and now... God damn it. Anyways.
It's weird that you're bringing up your brother at a time like this after your history with your brother.
We're so close, man. What's going on? He says, I'd like to have a brother I can trust. He's a healer. He's been helping the men, and he can show Nadine some things to help her become a better healer herself. I'd just like to think that I have a brother that helps people. Kahlan asks if he thinks Drefan has magic. And Richard tells her that he can't explain exactly how he sees that somebody has magic, but usually there's a sparkle in the air around somebody with it, and he didn't see any of that in Drefan. As far as he's concerned, he just seems to be a really talented healer.
Really talented at something.
He's just good, you know? Just got big dick, good guy energy.
Yeah. BDE.
BDE. But Richard reveals that he's still not sure if he trusts Drefan quite yet. I have no idea why that was so hard to say. He said that he helped Kara, right? But what if she would have recovered on her own after Marlon died? Like, what if all she really needed was just a little bit of time? Drefan shows up, gets wind of the situation, and then he's just like, oh yeah, I can heal her, and then does a little, stuff in the air around her. Granted, he did show the lines and how they move, but he also was grabbing her and being super inappropriate. So, like, how much of that was actually necessary and how much of that was him just
using a situation
waiting
as advantage
until she eventually wakes up?
Yeah.
Well,
and I also just don't know. I don't think that anyone has explicitly described what happened to Richard down there. Like, I think he knows that he went down there and he did some shit, and then Kara's now healed, but I don't know that anybody was like, he opened her top and groped her and also touched her downstairs.
You don't think he touched her downstairs? You don't think anybody has explicitly told him that yet?
No, I don't. Because I think he would be way more, like, I think he would mention that. I think he'd be more weirded out by it. And he would be way more cautious when he starts touching Kahlan.
Oh,
and be like,
yeah,
I
true.
am going to watch what you're doing.
Yeah. When Drefan gets close to her and blocks her view of Richard like sidles across the room. He's like, no, I'm watching, motherfucker.
Yeah.
You think I'm leaving her alone with you for a half a second? You are wrong.
You're not going to slip a finger anywhere, buddy.
And if you do, I'll know. Well, Kahlan hadn't really thought of this whole Drefan might not have actually done anything concept yet either. And Richard says that he still doesn't believe in coincidences. So I want to believe he's a good guy. I want all of this positive stuff to be true. But honestly, we still don't really know. So I don't trust Drefan. And I don't think he's wrong for that.
No.
He tells Kahlan that he wants her to be honest with him about Drefan. He doesn't want to be swayed by the fact that they're brothers. For example, you can tell me why you lied to him. And Kahlan's like, well, what are you talking about? And he's like, dude, I can see in your eyes that you still have a headache. It didn't go away.
Yeah.
So you obviously lied to him, and I want to know why you did that. And she's like, look, I just wanted you to be proud of your brother, you know?
Yeah. But she's like sidestepping around the fact that she's getting weird vibes.
The real issue,
yeah.
right.
Which is probably, I mean, I'm not sure, but probably going to lead to a problem, because you should let people know if you get bad vibes off of somebody so that they can see the red flags when they start passing them, instead of being like, oh, it looks a little orange, you know?
Anytime Richard and Kahlan keep anything from each other, it usually ends up being an issue that has to be dealt with.
Yeah.
Like a big issue.
Yeah.
Well, Kahlan says, obviously, she just wanted him to be able to be proud of his brother. Then she goes on to say, I know that he's got a whole bunch of ladies aflutter in town, so I'm sure soon there will be some broken hearts. But other than that, no, I haven't seen anything sus, and I promise that I'll tell you if I see something. Which Richard wants. But she didn't. She just now did not.
Exactly.
So that's not good. If you see something,
say something.
She notices that Richard didn't smile at the mention of Drefan getting attention from all the ladies around town, and she figures it's got something to do with his painful history with Michael. And then she kind of wishes that she hadn't brought that up.
Well, yeah, maybe. Maybe not. Especially when you guys are like this close to having coitus. Maybe let's not be talking about it.
Yeah.
But also, Richard brought it up, so.
Yeah. Well, he starts to kiss Kahlan again, but this time it's Kahlan's turn to change the subject. She's like, hey, why did you bring Nadine with you this afternoon? Richard goes, who? And Kahlan goes, the lady in the tight dress.
He keeps trying to, like, make out with her instead of answering her.
Yeah, during all of this. And then Richard goes, oh, that Nadine. And Kahlan says, well, you noticed the dress then, obviously. And then Richard goes, oh, did you notice something different about it? Kahlan says, sure the fuck did, bud. Like, they have this whole little game, and it's very awkward. Like, obviously, Richard knows who the fuck Kahlan is.
Nadine.
Yes. Well, yeah, what I said wasn't wrong. Even a broken clock or whatever. Yeah, but obviously Richard knows who Nadine is and who Kahlan's talking about, but they're just playing this weird little game.
Well, and he also is not trying to admit that he noticed the dress was different, and she's like, you did, though, and we both know you fucking did.
Yeah.
So, yeah. He's trying to, like, oh, no, not a big deal.
I think you get an eye roll for saying you noticed that it was tighter, but I don't think you get chewed out for being like, yeah, it was tight and weird, and I told her she should get a new dress. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like if he said that, that would be better.
Right.
Yeah.
Instead of what he did say.
Yeah.
Oh, there was a time.
Then he goes on to be a little, like, defensive of her a little bit and be like, she's not a bad person.
Right. She's not
Fuck
a bad
you.
person.
Yes, she is.
She's not evil. She has good qualities. And plus, you know, he figures while she's here, then at least she can help out. It might make her feel better about herself, which obviously needs because, you know, she's been vying for attention that she doesn't need. And she's been checking up on the men and making sure the quench oak tea is being made properly. And look, this much of it checks out for Kahlan, right? She's like, okay, I get it. Your reason for having her with you is fine by me. But Kahlan still does not like the way that Nadine smiled when Richard asked her to do things for him.
Yeah.
You know, that smile was for Richard, not for being able to help. The dress is for Richard, not just because, you know, she lost some weight and took it in some.
Yeah, no, and it's maddening to have somebody be like, I'm just being a good person and being kind to the person that you, like, the other person is obviously taking advantage or, like, sucking it up. And
Right.
you're just like, no, okay, they don't have good intentions. I know you might, but they don't. It's it also reminds me of Sons of Anarchy when there's Tara and the porn star that keeps, like, riding on Jax's bike.
Oh, yeah.
And then there ends up being a whole thing about it. And, I mean, honestly, the women could have handled it better, but also, I feel like the man should not be doing stuff that's leading the other person, like...
Right. Leading the other person on to think that something is going to be happening when it's decidedly not.
Yeah, even if they're not intending it and they're saying it's not going to happen, but you're still, like, letting them hang on you in a way that's not cool.
I had somebody try to jump on the back of my bike one time for a parade, and I was like, nope, you got to get the fuck off my bike.
Good. I would murder somebody.
That wasn't even going to happen. I was like, you don't do that. You don't just jump on somebody's bike. Hey, I'm going with you.
No, you're not.
The fuck you are.
Wrap your legs around somebody else.
I'm sorry, but this seat is very much taken.
Mm-hmm.
So Richard asks Kahlan if she thinks Drefan is as handsome as all the other women do. And she kisses him and then lets out a deep breath. I didn't hear an answer.
see, but they're like taking weird jabs at it. Like,
yeah,
she brought up Nadine and he got uncomfortable about the conversation. So now he's like, oh, what about Drefan?
Look,
like, this is not adults talking in a productive way.
Maybe it's just us now. I mean, me and you have been married for 14 years, and we can both acknowledge when somebody is attractive and not have it be a thing. I feel like maybe that's just our relationship maturity. They're like, it's a whole weird thing. And it's like, it can just be there and change nothing.
Yeah, but yeah, you have to acknowledge what's going on in the vibes you're getting. Like, I'm getting these vibes from that person. Are you not? Oh, you're getting different vibes from them. Okay, we need to acknowledge that because one or both of us is right. Okay,
if it's consistent all the way around, then chances are things are on the up and up.
Yeah,
but if it's not like that, then something has to be addressed, and you can't always just tiptoe around it.
Well, it's funny because I think we both had people, like, on the other person's side where we've been like, I don't get good vibes from your friend.
Yeah.
And the other person has been like, it's fine. I don't think that they look at us that, I don't think that they are thinking that way at all. And then you find out later, they were.
They probably were.
Yeah. And you're like, okay, well, maybe I couldn't see it because I wanted to see the best in the people that I was surrounding myself with and not think that that's all they cared about. But other people can see that more clearly.
Yeah.
Especially your partner can sense those feelings easier than you can sometimes. You're like,
totally agree.
I know what that bitch is doing.
I know what's going on here.
I would do.
I'm a guy. I know how he thinks. Trust me.
Yeah. I know what she's trying to do.
Well, okay. He goes, yeah, you remember Drefan, the man in the tight pants? And Kahlan's like, no, I don't even know who you're talking about. Which, bullshit, but okay, whatever. Richard doesn't care at this point either. He is kissing her neck, and she has no room in her mind for Drefan right now anyways. She's got Richard in her room. She's like, fuck everybody else. This is happening, man.
The dick print has faded from her mind. Probably because she has her hands on a different dick print.
Right. All of her thoughts right now are going back to when her and Richard were in that place between worlds, and she wants him that way again right now. She knows that he wants her the same way too.
That's what it feels like, anyways.
Let's go!
Even though he keeps changing the goddamn subject instead of just getting down to business.
Well, here we have a bit of an explanation. She also knows that Richard doesn't want to be perceived as being anything like Drefan Rahl. That's why he never overrules the women on the staff in Kahlan's rooms. And even with the Mordsith, they're always around whenever Kahlan goes to Richard's room, and he never objects.
I mean,
he'd be a hypocrite if virtue didn't apply to him as well. So he's playing by the rules and being cool with it, as frustrated as he is with it. He's trying to make other people see that he's not just a dog.
He's trying to set a good example, whatever.
Yeah.
But I just want to say there is a massive difference between not having sex with your significant other that you are determined to marry and stay with forever, and raping and, you know, however many number of women and your staff.
Yeah.
Like, Drefan Rahl sexually assaulted most of his staff and a whole bunch of women, just random people all
just
the time.
People in general, yeah.
And so Richard just having sex with his betrothed, I don't feel like equates to the same thing, but okay. Like, I get it, I guess. Like, we're trying to be very morally above board here, but I mean, I feel like you got a little bit more wiggle room than you're giving yourself.
Today, though, he had told the Mord Sith to wait down the hall and around the corner, and they did so without objection. That's what he was checking for once they got into Kahlan's room. He wanted to make sure that they were alone.
Yeah.
He's got the guard set up a little further out from normal, right? So nobody's going to sneak in on them. They're going to have some time alone, and everything will be good.
Yes to heavy petting and whatever follows.
Now, it's here that we find out that Richard and Kahlan have decided to wait until they actually get married to have sex. Now, here, I think as long as it's their choice and they're not being forced to wait, that is great. I think it's a healthy exercise for people, but I also feel like, you know, here's the thing. They've already fucked. They fucked in a place between worlds. So they've tried it and they're like, okay, it's good. I would like that for the rest of my life. So, okay, now go ahead and wait until the wedding just to build some anticipation. I love it. I personally, I think before you marry somebody, you should have sex with them to make sure that that's what you want to do for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, I guess my issue is just that this has never ever come up before. They've always been in a rush to get to the bed. Mm-hmm. Suddenly, we get to this book. And this book all of a sudden throws up all these roadblocks to them having sex. Whether that's the staff.
One of those being them.
Or the spirits, or them, or there's numerous things all of a sudden. And while they all may be very valid, and there is many things to explain each thing in this book so far, it kind of just a little bit feels like it was forced in here to force a certain thing to happen.
In the real world.
No, here. Like, I feel like we don't know what yet. But the constant instance of them being like, yes, we're going to wait, or yes, you're going to wait. Like, all the different reasons that have suddenly come up, it feels like they are being prevented from having sex for a reason.
Ah, for the plot.
For the plot. Yes. Like, I like Terry, I like these books, but this is the specific thing that's happening in this book with them not being able to have sex before marriage suddenly and having so many reasons that we've never heard of, just feels like the plot is conveniently happening so they can't have sex now that they have opportunity to have sex.
I mean, there's nothing stopping them right now.
Right.
Right now, there is a full go-ahead. And you know what? Kahlan is struggling with that.
Yeah, I would be too.
Kahlan wants to fuck.
Yeah.
Feeling his arms around her, the lips on her neck, the heavy breathing and the heavy petting. I loved it. She wants his mouth everywhere on her. And she wants hers everywhere on him. Mm-hmm. She begs him to stay with her tonight, saying, I want you in me. And Richard moans helplessly. It's all so much.
I've been seeing dicks all day. I need one.
There has to be some give, right?
Yeah.
And then ... Dramatic pause. Someone says, I hope I'm not interrupting.
I
They hadn't heard Nadine's silent approach because of the carpet.
I would be furious, and I would not be as calm as they are here when addressing her. I'd be like, you know what you just walked in on?
You know what
Leave
you
us
did.
alone.
In a tone that I imagine as being more than just a little pissed off. They are like, what the fuck are you doing here? I checked the hallway.
Yeah.
Everybody was where they were supposed to be.
How did you get past the guards?
Seriously. I am going to have to tell the Mortsith fucked up again.
Yeah.
They let somebody in here. She says she came to change her poultice and apologize for some of the things that she had said before. Kahlan says Drefan worked on it earlier, so her shoulder's fucking fine. And Richard says, thanks for checking on Kahlan. Good night.
Tally ho now.
Yeah, bye. Door is still on the wall. Now, Nadine has a real attitude. Amazing. For someone who just came to apologize for that exact same thing.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you're not even going to wait? You're just going to lay claim to her like some girl you came across in the woods? Seems a bit crude. Well, fuck you, Nadine.
No, keep going.
Then he turns to Kahlan and says, she, Nadine. Nadine turns to Kahlan and says, see, he wants what he's shown. It seems you would do anything to have him after all. You're no better than me. And then she turns and leaves the room.
Oh my God.
Dish, girl.
I
Get her.
would slap that bitch with so much verbal abuse. It would not even be funny.
I know you would.
Are you kidding me? You think I'm the same as you? Somebody who just went and slept with the brother of the man that you've been hanging out with? You're talking to me about getting laid claim to. You got laid claim to and then left by some random ass dude. And it wasn't even like, nope. I'm going to go.
Not even the same thing.
I'm going to go fuck my fiance. Yes. And you will not get to ever fuck him. How about that? Yes, it's going to be great. And you know what? I'm going to moan so loud you hear it on the other side of the building where your room is.
Later, when the palace shutters, just know it was me.
Yep. You might get like a contact confessed.
Contact confessed. That's fucking great. You hear the thunder and you're like, command me. What the fuck am I saying?
Yeah. What?
Well, after she leaves, Kahlan just says, out of the mouth of whores.
Damn right.
And Richard says, maybe she has a point.
Oh my God.
What, dude? And then Kahlan says, maybe she does.
No, she doesn't.
Wait, what's happening?
She doesn't, even a little bit.
What, you're agreeing with her? Why? And Richard says, well, have a good night.
What the fuck?
You too. I'll be thinking of you. What the fuck is happening here?
Plot.
Why? The plot. Goddamn plot. The plot is the equivalent to that chastity belt that Maid Marian had to wear in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
And then the key doesn't work. And you
Yeah.
have to call a locksmith, and then they never get to do it. And it's sad. Even when they wanted to
They got
do
a
it, they're like, look,
jackhammer.
we're going to wait. But then, that one night happened, and we didn't want to fucking wait. So we did.
Yeah.
And it was totally fine. And then they still didn't get to. God damn, I'm so frustrated right now.
They should, it's so ridiculous that they're both like,
Ugh.
she has a if you turn to me after your bitch ass ex, not even ex, said that shit to us before we were about to go do it, and you were like, maybe she's right, and you tried to walk away from me, I'd be like, no, she's not, and now we're having angry sex.
We're still having
Now we're
sex,
fighting.
but I'm mad at you.
Yeah, now we're fighting.
We'll deal with that later.
Get the
Still
fuck
happening,
on
though.
the bed and take your pants off.
Well, we got to pause the podcast. I'll be back in a few. Jade, you got to come with me. All right, I guess we can finish here.
I don't. Never mind.
I'm sorry. I just couldn't believe that they actually were like, yeah, well, maybe Nadine's
No,
right.
I can't
After
either.
all that.
It's bullshit.
Well, he gives her a kiss and he says he won't be going right to bed. He's got to go dunk himself in cold horse trough first.
I'm just okay. Even if they decided not to have sex this night because she popped their like love bubble or whatever, she killed the mood. You still don't go. She was right.
No, definitely not. Not like that.
You have a conversation about how that dumb bitch she has no idea what she's talking about. That's right, babe. You're not like some random girl I'm laying claim to in the woods. We're fucking destined to love each other forever. We could totally fuck anytime. It would be no problem. That's right, babe.
For instance, maybe right now.
Yeah. But she killed Rune, so we'll do it tomorrow. Yeah, sounds like a plan.
I love how you make Richard sound. Yeah, man. Tomorrow, we're going to do it, man. Totally, for sure. Just gonna whip it out, man. It's gonna be great.
Just whip it out. See if you take it.
Well, Kahlan tells him that she's worried they're never going to be able to get married. He promises her that just as soon as everything is seen to, they're going to take the sliff. They're going to wake and take the sliff. Wake and bake and shake and take the sliff.
She's like, my vagina is crying because I don't know if we're ever going to have sex because we won't be able to get married.
He needs to make sure that the men are getting better, and he wants to make sure that Jagang can't make good on his promise. He just needs a couple of days. She tells him that in 3 days, you get 2, and in 3, words being said over us or not, this is going to happen. I'm going to break this pussy off on your day. Whether you like it or not. He's like, oh, it's going to happen, and it will be after we get married. I promise.
Ugh, hate it.
Yeah?
Yeah, I just... You already know. It's like when somebody is in a TV show and they're like, I'll tell you about your dad later. And then they die.
Ooh.
Or like in Game of Thrones at the beginning of the show, Ned Stark is like, I have a lot of things to tell you, but I'm going to leave now. We'll talk about it later. And then his head gets chopped off, and they never have a conversation.
Yeah, that's sad.
And then we don't find out for quite a long time the spoilers. So, yeah, that kind of shit is annoying. You don't like hold stuff back.
So sad. Well, he starts to leave, but he turns back and tells her that he really wishes Zed could be there when they get married. And he wishes Zed was here because he could help right now, too. They got a lot of shit to deal with. Kahlan blows him a kiss, and he leaves. She throws herself on the bed, alone again, and thinks about what Nadine said to her. Shota told me about you, and weeps in frustration.
See, she's focusing her energy in the wrong place. Instead of thinking about Nadine and crying, she should be thinking about Richard and taking care of herself.
And making friends with a little man in a boat?
Yes.
Yeah, I was about to make a joke about that, and I was like, this is sad. Maybe I'll hold it in.
Nope.
And then faps vigorously.
Yes. She masturbates in frustration. A lot of frustrated grunts and groans.
Mother Confessor, are you okay? I'm fine. Leave that door closed. Good God.
Stop talking to me. I can't do it when you're talking to me.
Okay. We are going to take just a little break because this episode is running long, but we will be back right after this. And Jade has to pee. All right, and we are back for the conclusion of Chapter 18 of Temple of the Winds. Jade, are you feeling better?
Oh, I'm feeling great.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So, Richard has now left Kahlan's room. He is walking. I am assuredly saying that he's walking frustratingly down the hallway, probably mumbling to himself again. And as he passes Kara, she says, so you're not going to be sleeping up here tonight? He says, maybe I just wanted to give Kahlan a kiss goodnight without you two passing judgment on my skill. And maybe I need to go down there so I can masturbate furiously before I can calm down. But the Mord Sith recognizes joke. They're smiling again, and Richard takes that as a good sign.
Yeah.
Overall, it's good. We're good again. We're making jokes and stuff, and it feels good. She says, "Oh, I've seen you kiss her. She likes it." And Richard says, "That just means that she loves me." And Kara's like, "No, we were watching you just now. She's into it, dude."
No, you're she specifically is like, "You're talented, bud. I'm aware."
Which means they watched fucking Nadine just walk in on him.
Exactly. But they like to watch.
What the hell?
They were like, this is our TV.
Like, this is our drama for the week,
they were
dude.
like,
Of
here's
course.
the porn channel. Oh, drama. Woo!
Well, Richard is frustrated, but Kara says, "Hey, in order to do my job, I can't let you out of my sight, not even for a minute."
Also, it was hot.
And I wanted to watch, so I did. He asks them what they think of Drefan. Kara shrugs and says that she'd rather kiss Richard than Drefan. Richard
Aw.
than Drefan. She says, blah, blah, blah. Now I'm all flustered. She said that she's glad that Drefan helped her yesterday, but she really doesn't like the fact that he showed up yesterday either. Richard agrees with her. He tells them that if they have any reason to speak up about him, that they do. So Kara says that she doesn't like his hands.
And see, I thought that we were going to get a little bit closer to why she didn't like his hands and the vibes he was giving off, but it felt like she skirted around it.
Yeah, I mean, she told him what the issue was, but it's almost like a child that has been molested.
Yeah.
Doesn't know some of the terms that might be red flags for people, but they might say something like, I don't like his hands. Well, why not? Well, because he touches me.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
He has hands like Dark and Rahl. Those two things, I was like, oh, red flag. Okay.
Dirty Drefan Rahl. Bad hands.
Yeah. And then she goes on to be like, oh, say something that seems not that bad.
Yeah, I guess you could definitely say that. It's not going full on into detail what happened to her, but she's letting Richard know there's an issue.
Yeah.
Well, he says, what about his hands? And she says he's got hands like Dark and Rahl. She's seen him caressing, fawning women, and that stuff Dark and Rahl does, and I don't like it.
Yeah.
Richard's like, well, when did he even have time for that? She's like, well, it was when you were out talking to soldiers and like seeing to the men and stuff. He had plenty of time.
Every time you weren't watching him.
Right, exactly. The second he was out of your sight, he was doing this. And it didn't take him long either. The women were flocking to him. She's never seen anything like it.
Yeah, they like him and his dick pants.
Yeah, they really like the tight pants. Richard asks if any of the women weren't willing, and Kara says no, it was all on the up and up. And then Richard's like, well, look, I'm not a fan of it, but as long as it was all consensual, then it's really none of my business.
Yeah, if he's a playboy, whatever.
Yeah, and Richard's got other things going on, so he's just like, okay, well, if anything changes in that regard, do let me know. But until somebody complains about him, it's kind of whatever.
Which you understand, but again, with the context that he touched her in a weird way, would change things, I feel like.
Which Richard doesn't have.
Right. And it makes it okay, yeah, he touches women who want him to touch them. Cool, whatever. She didn't want him to touch her.
Right.
Like that.
Left that detail out. He also touches women that don't want to be touched.
Yeah.
Kara says that if he finds out he's telling the truth and he's really here to help, then Richard should be proud of him. He's an important man. He's the leader of his own sect of healers. And Richard is surprised that Drefan never brought it up. But Kara says he probably just wanted to show humility in front of the Lord Rahl. She goes on to say that he's the high priest of the Moss. And Richard asks her if she knows what that means, but she says no and asks him if he does. Now, here's the thing. I really need to look in the book to see how it's spelled.
It's R-A-U-G.
R-A-U-G. So, Raugmoss, I could even say. Raugmoss. Raugmoss sounds like it's the easy way to say it.
Yeah.
And I don't hate it. But, what is it? Dick
Hill?
Dick Hill. He says Raugmoss every time he says it. And I'm like, I don't know if that's right or not, bud. Yeah. But, so I wanted to make a note of that. With all the G's and the H's because, wow.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Now, he doesn't say that he knows what it means yet, but he asks where Berdine is. Kara says she's probably in bed, and he starts booking down the hall and calling orders back out to them. Kara is to post a guard outside Kahlan's room. Reyna is to go get Berdine and have her meet him in his office right fucking now. Richard heads to his office, thinking about some of the words he learned in Kolo's journal. In High Daharan, Rog Moss means divine wind.
Oh.
And both showed his warning about the wind hunting him and the prophecy that says he must seek the remedy in the wind spin through his mind as this chapter ends.
Which are two totally different things.
Yeah.
So, interesting.
Both things pointing towards the wind. And here we are thinking like, well, the wind might have something to do with Zed. And he comes so close when he's like, man, I wish Zed were here. And you're like, you just got to wait because it's literally prophecy. Turns out, not fucking him.
Yeah, but see, the prophecy...
Well, I suppose it might be. We don't know, do we?
The prophecy alludes to him finding the remedy in the wind, which would make you think Drefan could be a good thing. But then Shoda's warning says the wind hunts him, which sounds like a bad thing.
It does sound like a bad thing, but you could also twist it to mean, okay, the wind is looking for you, and the remedy for whatever it is going to be in the wind, so this could be a good thing.
Could be.
It could be.
I mean, we pretty much...
Of course, she's trying to divert from that, so I guess we assume it is a bad thing.
Well, we just went through this whole chapter talking about how awesome Drefan is. So,
yeah, awesome.
I just feel like I'm inclined to think it's not great, but maybe that's just me.
Well, if you guys enjoyed this chapter, you can let us know by sending an email to podcastatt@gmail.com, or you could find us on all of our social medias at podcastatt. If you really enjoyed this show and wanted to support us, you can find us on patreon.com/podcastatt, where you can make a pledge and get access to a whole bunch of extra content. And if Patreon's not really your deal, we would really, really appreciate it if you guys went on like iTunes and gave us a good rating. It really does help us out. It helps other people find the show. And, it's something you can do to help us out. And we just fucking love you for that. Because you guys are awesome.
Yep, we love you for a lot of reasons.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for listening. We'll see you real soon.
Bye.